Hello and welcome back to math class.
Now, we're going to begin with subsets, and again, we're going to be looking at lots of symbols. So remember, you should be recording that in that 3x5 card, Rolodex. Now, let's look at the possible subsets and proper subsets of a set. Now, I've created this set B, which was star, moon, and sun. I made it a small set for a reason, and I think that you'll see why in just a minute. Now, a subset or a proper subset of set B includes only members from set B. That's the same idea we used when we talked about the universal set. The subsets came from the universal set. So essentially, when the way A, B, C, and D were subsets of the universal set, we're kind of talking about the same thing here, only we're going to just show a very small difference between what a proper subset is and what a subset is. Now, a subset can include all the elements as in the original set B. However, this is where a subset and a proper subset differ. A proper subset must only include some members of set B, not all of them. This means that a subset of B can be equal to set B or just a part of set B, whereas a proper subset can only be a part of set B. So let me go into that by listing them. If that wasn't clear, you'll see it here. Here we have a proper subset of set B. Here's all our different combinations. Okay, a proper subset could just be this star. That would be a subset of B. Just a star. Or I could have just the moon. Or I could have just the sun. All of these are parts of set B, so they are subsets. I could also do the star and the moon. I could do the star and the sun, the moon and the sun. And last but definitely not least, don't forget that I could do an empty set because that is technically a part of set B. There's always an empty set. It's always a subset of a set. Now, that means there are 7 possible proper subsets. So the possible subsets, without the word proper in front of it, notice they are the exact same 7 right here. The exact same 7 are included. But we also have this other one, star, moon, sun. It is also a subset. It is the same exact thing. So a subset can be equal to the original set. Or in other words, the subset can be the same thing. Or it can be all these little parts. Whereas a proper subset can only be the little parts. Now, how I remember the difference is I think about it. And when I think of what is a subset, automatically my mind says it's just a part of the regular set. So if I'm talking about the proper, the right subset, only the little parts. But then we also have the possibility of every single element being a subset. Very small difference there. Obviously, the larger my original set, the more subsets I'm going to have, and we can determine the number of subsets that a set has using the expression 2 to the n. 2 to the n. N represents the number of elements in the original set. Now we're going to use that letter N again, so don't forget that N represents the number of elements in the original set. It's also called the cardinal number. But when we say 2 to the n, That is how many possible subsets we could have. So in our set B, we've got how many elements? We've got 1, 2, 3. So we can just say 2, well, let me get a pen, 2, and not n, but 3, because we have 3 elements, 2 to the third power, which equals 8. And in fact, that is how many subsets we had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we want to know how many proper subsets, then we say 2 to the n minus 1, because we are not including this one that is the same thing. So 2 to the third power, which is 8, minus 1 gives us 7. 7 proper subsets. Again, remember that the letter N is often used to denote the number of elements in a set. Now, as I've already said, we have some symbols here associated with subsets and sets. For a subset, we use this symbol here. It kind of looks like a C with a line underneath of it. So this is the symbol we use for a subset. And then for a proper subset, we use just the little symbol that looks like a C or a sideways U. We don't put the line under it, because the line means can be equal to also. And remember, a subset can be equal to the original set. So how this works is, if we have our set, B equals the set of star, moon, sun, we can say the following using set notation. We can say the set of star is a proper subset of B. The set of moon is a proper subset of B. The set of sun is a proper subset of B. All the proper subsets that we found before, we can say they are a proper subset of B. But we can also say, instead of saying star is a proper subset of B, we can say star is a subset of B. So remember, it was a subset of B also. Same with moon is a subset of B. Sun is a subset of B. And so on and so forth. But notice that we can only use the subset with the line under it if we're saying the entire original set up here is a subset of B. That's when we only can use this symbol for subset. All the others, you can use proper subset or subset, proper subset or subset. But when you get to the original, you're saying the original set is a subset of B. The set of star, moon, sun is a subset of set B.
And that concludes today's lesson. As always, if you have any questions, please send me an email through the school email system, not through the Blackboard system. Thank you, and you have a great day.